and there was Christmas stuff out.
Yes,
you have
yes.
2 holidays, plus 3 if you count my birthday, that needed to get finalized and finished. Stay in my own lane, Mason. For me, it's
caution, your
holiday.
birthday is not no national holiday.
I'm a national figure in my own mind.
Well, this is very true. We've determined this.
You can't argue with that.
And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Track Packer Podcast. I am your secondary host, Jesus Pioclep. I'm with John Breckel of John Breckel Announcing LLC, Reba Power Walking lead instructor Reba Pelkey, and our regular host, Mr. Collinsworth for the night, Mason Aaron Eisenzema.
Grand entrance. I like it.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
How's everyone doing?
My name is not Reba. Stop it.
You are in charge of the Reba Power Walking classes.
Mm-hmm. We even broadcasted this live at DakotaSpeedway.tv.
Several times, by the way.
You know, if
Yes.
you want to see the Reba Power Walking classes, you too can get a reoccurring monthly subscription where you can watch all of the Reba Power Walking lessons
God, I hate you all.
week by week, and you will see the proper way to walk at a racetrack.
And you might see it at multiple racetracks, not even just one.
Mhm. Yes, this is true.
Definitely get your money's worth with that subscription. Also,
And
Christ.
race fans, if you really want to see the Reba, I have to go to the bathroom walk. You can also check that out as part of the intermission
What the
activities
hell?
at
That's
the
the
Dakota
poop walk.
Speedway.
That
You will
doesn't
definitely
happen.
see it. It kind of
No.
scrouches down a little bit.
It looks like she's taking a poop.
Oh my God. I think you guys
What?
are over exaggerating.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That doesn't happen. These are
No.
weird.
No.
These are so weird.
I think there's a song called No Limit where they go, no.
So, Mason, how was your weekend?
it was good. I had a busy weekend celebrating the wedding of Ryan and Carly Satter. So congratulations to the Satters, and kind of the first week from racing season, and definitely still got put to work. So all around racing people, and so it was a good time celebrating their wedding. Other than that, just kind of recovering from being sick for an entire week. So hopefully we're over that hump and dealing with this lovely weather that we're having. It's pretty clear that the off season is upon us. So how are the rest of you doing, Becca? How was your weekend?
It was good. We just wrapped up the Dakota Speedway Awards Banquet this past weekend, and it was a room full of my favorite racing people, and it was a fun night that went way into the early morning hours. I think Jessup and I got home around 4 a.m. So it was a fun night with some of my very favorite people, and it was a good night to just celebrate and honor our track champions, all those that finished in the top 10 in the point standings. We inducted our Hall of Fame nominees and gave some extra special awards out as well. So it was a fun night, and I enjoyed every moment of it, and I hope I made some people's night a little extra special. So it was a good time.
So no offense to the people that were at the banquet, but not all your favorite racing people were there, Becca.
Yes, because you
This
weren't
is
there,
true.
Mason. See what I did there? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Love you too, John.
I figured that
Love
was
you
coming.
This is what Reba gets, is the black flag. Because now next year, as part of the announcing duo that we are, you can find Becca's limited speaking abilities on the power mute button from your once and only Don Breckel from Don Breckel LLC announcing. You will definitely be able to find that as part of the DakotaSpeedway.tv broadcast. You may hear only 5 words.
We don't know what I'm doing next year. That we'll figure that out when that comes. So
Well, apparently it's not going to be on the bike.
apparently not. Might be doing
Well, she'll be
something else
giving
at the
more power.
racetrack.
Jessup, she's
He's
going to be
giving
giving more
power
power
walking
walking lessons.
Apparently,
We'll
the
have
nights
her
I'm
show
not
that.
there, though, John doesn't do a whole lot down front. So all the race fans are missing out on the chicken dance and all the other fun activities that we do at intermission because he won't leave his precious tower. So
I think
Speaking
John's
of John,
much
how
better
was
in
your
the tower.
weekend?
My weekend was great. I was away from Becca. It was just a wonderful weekend. So, no, in short, in all reality, it was a fun weekend. I was bowling a tournament up in Minot, so I did miss the awards banquet this past weekend. Typically this falls on the same weekend as the bowling tournament, and it's in the heart of bowling season. So I was up there, finished in the top 5 for the weekend. So that was a nice little surprise, and had a great time with a lot of people that I haven't seen since basically the winter months of of this past March, April timeframe. So it was nice to get back into bowling mode.
Absolutely. And had a nice weekend. Got to follow along a little bit. So congrats on a great weekend and good start to the tournament season for you. I'm sure you got a lot of tournaments scheduled over the off season.
Absolutely. Yep. We are in the heart of bowling season. And not only that, but
Is it
to
really the
Becca's
heart of
demise,
bowling season, or is this just the beginning?
it's in the beginning, but it's also the heart of practice season and everything else. But
There's the practice
in
bowling season, then there's
yes,
the midsummer bowling season, and then there's the mid-practice bowling season, then there's nationals bowling season,
let's
and then
be real.
this is true.
John bowls
there's the
all year
money
round.
bowling season, the money
I
bowls. Because
I
us
usually
pros
take about
call
a
it.
month and a half off, usually about a month off. This year I took over 2 months off, and that's because of the knee surgery that I had back in November. My leg was just so sore. I went through all this physical therapy to get it back up and running, and literally, and had to go through
I've
and do
never
all
seen
that as
John
part of
run.
my rehab. So went through and did all of that, and got it back up and running. Oh, Jessup, you put that flag away
I haven't seen
because
you run before. Is that a real thing?
Seen
oh
him
yes,
run. I've
it
seen him
is.
jog before.
So
I've seen
Now
him
run
speed
or
I
jog,
after a
Mason.
naughty child in Jamestown.
Mason
Becca
is
has
our
seen
running
me. I
expert.
booked it that night.
He speed walked to get that naughty child.
What
I
is
didn't
that
speed walk
run?
nice, Becca. I
Everyone's
have
like, "Where's
the
John
John's gonna
going?"
run you over face pretty much on that night.
Oh yeah,
But
that was just like, oh, John is not happy.
oh, I was like mad that night. I was truly Mr. Miserable. And no, in short though, with that one, Nationals is always in April, so it'll be right around the time from actually, depending on scheduling for racing events and weather and everything else, I might be missing a weekend of racing because of Nationals this year, just because of our time frame. So we'll have to plan early for that. And the other thing is, too, is that I do have several trips for bowling this year that is going to be taking me out of state as well. So I'll be doing a lot of traveling for bowling both in the air as well as in the car this year to tournaments. So that'll be a lot of fun. But our busy time definitely hits January, February timeframe is definitely where we're the busy months.
Gotcha. Well, nice to hear that it's off to a good start. And last but not least, Jessup, how was your last weekend?
It was good. Overall, it was a good weekend. Was busy Friday night, Saturday night, and tried to nurse myself back together by Sunday afternoon.
Give him the good news about your wrist.
Oh yeah, my wrist is good-ish. It has bone, so bone is good.
That's a good thing.
That
I'm
is
glad it's
good.
up and running.
Now we're ready to punch any person or kid who runs by the camera because they always run by my camera. I hate when
I
kids
agree.
stand by my camera. John, why? Okay, John, tell me why
knock
is it
them out.
you power walk so furiously after people by the fence, but you can't protect me outside of the tower where you could just slide it open and yell at them and throw stuff at them?
You know why, Jessup?
Why?
It's because I have Becca typically in between us.
She does get in the
Yeah.
way.
And she does. She's too busy hitting the window, calling about a bumper.
But you know, John, the
That
nice
only
thing
happened
about
once.
the nice Bumper. Anyways, the nice thing about Becca, John, is when you got really mad last year and you went after that one kid who was up on the fence and just kept running onto the fence.
Yeah, like almost onto the racetrack.
Yeah, you followed the guidelines and tips that everybody has access to for Reba's Power Walking School on DakotaSpeedway.tv.
Oh my god!
I did.
Drop
I did the
this.
Reba Power Walk that night.
You had good form. You were swift, and you were adamant about your goal and your projected target, and you were focused. You were focused.
Nothing was going to deter me that night. I mean, and I learned from Becca that you have to take long strides when you power walk. And sometimes it's better to dip down a few times because it gets you, there quicker.
And then when you go if they don't listen, you got to get into the power squat position.
Yes.
I don't do this. Stop it.
Yes, you do. John
Mason,
and I
think we actually, Mason, I think we might actually have a clip of this maybe from DakotaSpeedway.tv.
We should cut up all the video footage of Becca walking throughout the year.
God, stop.
Oh God, I actually have one. I should actually send that over.
I'll have to keep that in mind for
it's
an
like
intro
watching
in the future.
Bigfoot walk at times.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's great to see that we're all in a great mood and having fun and enjoying the start of the off season. Of course, welcome to episode number.
Whoa! Caution! My off season's not done yet. My race season's still going.
This is true.
To the rear of the field.
I'm already at the rear of the field, FYI.
Well, you'll take this caution then. We'll run it a full restart.
I mean, technically, is anyone's off season done at this rate? Besides maybe John's.
John is done.
Yeah, I'm kind of in off season.
John, would you count that as a second caution on Mason there? Mason has now.
I think you're reaching for cautions at this point. Just take the one and leave.
I don't know if I'm even going to take that single caution.
I did send over a clip that we can use for the podcast as well.
Oh, good.
Damn it, John.
Oh, swearing on the broadcast.
Oh, please. It's not
CBS
the first time I've swore.
Or NBC or Fox or whoever has NASCAR these days or whatever streaming service.
Jesus. What is this?
Wow. Well, we're off to a rocket start here for episode number 34 of the Track Packers. Of course, it's always presented by Hitch Harness. We want to thank Tyler Hall for supporting us on the podcast this year. This is the time of year. Christmas is coming up. The holidays are coming up. We're looking for some gifts to give to those truck owners, whoever owns receiver hitches. It's a very cool product to help with efficiency and, most importantly, safety for the Hitch Harness. And so check out hitchharness.com for all the inventory they have. They even have amenities for the racers, including chassis dollies, pull bar brackets. If you want the explanation from Jessup on how those work, be sure to hit them up. But thank you so much, Tyler Hall, for the support of the podcast in 2023. The lineup, before I forget and make sure everyone doesn't come at me. John's on the pole, followed by Becca, Jessup, and myself.
I thought I was in second after Becca's last caution, but
no.
Okay.
I told you that after further inspection,
it's not NASCAR
podcast,
no more
the
Billy
caution was rescinded.
Thank you, PAC committee, for ruling in my favor.
What is PAC? Is that
Don't
like
you
a funding thing?
Don't
you gotta read the documents in our folders. I mean,
they pay me to lead, not to read.
Oh boy, we are in trouble as a society. With that, we will drop the green flag and get right into episode number 34 with who are what are we repping. John Breckle, start us off.
Okay, so I am repping a great shirt. By the way, race fans, in the comments and drivers and everybody else for podcasting, be sure to comment on who wore this better because somebody stole this from me earlier this season. So I am repping the Dirt Car Nationals shirt.
To you, yay!
52nd annual. And look at that. You have got Fallujah on there. You've got the Dirt Car Nationals. You've got the World of Outlaws. It's a very nice shirt. I appreciate you guys getting this one for me, as it's got a lot of the car classes on the back end of it directly. So kudos to you guys for getting that for me when I was gone down in February when you guys were down in Daytona area for the 500, as well as attending some of the Dirt Car Nationals where Mason made it rain out one night. But besides that,
John, fun fact,
as well,
he made the Dirt Track Nationals or Dirt Car whatever it is. He made them rain out. He made, I think it was he made
truck race.
The truck race rain out, and then there was another asphalt track that rained out that night too. So he rained out three tracks in one night. That is our rain man.
Truly. I mean,
gotta contribute.
I am the rain man with knowledge. Mason is the rain man with actually weather. He just brings the rain with him. He's always got that. He's got that moisture cloud over the top of him at all times.
He likes to. He wears the moisture wickening clothes.
Yes, this is very true.
It's like Kurt Busch's black cloud that he carried over his head in, I believe it was 2012. I think it was. Did you ever watch Radioactive back in those days?
No.
Oh gosh, I gotta show you this clip. He'd always complain that he had a black cloud over his head. That was when he was racing with James Finch.
Oh, yes, the 51 machine.
Yes.
So, but this is true because Mason likes to, spread his wealth with moisture across for everybody.
Fun fact, John, about that weekend. If Mason doesn't like to admit this, but I had the higher safety rating in our rental car for our driving.
That was such a rigged competition. It was ridiculous.
Hey, I'm safe. Much safer than Mason's driving.
By the way, Jessup or John, do you remember who won the Dirt Car Nationals the night we were in Volusia? I know John wasn't there, but
Hudson O'Neill.
He won the late models. Do you remember who won the modifieds?
I do not. Do you?
I just looked it up just to double check.
Wow. Who is it?
Matt Williamson.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to take a guess because I wasn't even sure.
There was some driver named the Jinja Ninja.
Yeah, I think he finished
Or is it
second?
the Ninja Jinja?
Jack Lehner, I want to say. I think is the Jinja Ninja.
Sure.
So.
Fun fact. The drapes don't match the carpet.
What did I walk into?
Who knows these days? Awesome shirt to rep, John. Glad you're wearing it proudly.
So once again, podcast listeners, if you want to comment below on who wore it better, Becca wore it really early in the season, and then she had to wear it before she gave it to me because she didn't want me to be the first one to wear it. I do think I wore it better, but you guys will have to let us know.
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments. Miss Becca, what are you repping?
Okay, so I got to preface my shirt before I show it off because earlier this season we were talking.
You have to preface?
Preface? Whatever. Who cares? Words. Anyways, earlier this season, all of us, I can't remember if it was on camera, it might have been off camera, but we were talking about, what happens when like Super Bowl teams, World Series teams, NASCAR teams lose the championship? Like, obviously those shirts go somewhere, right? And I think that was the starting of the conversation. And then it turned into, well, what if you actually wanted one of those t-shirts, right? Well, the next day, I may have had some extra time on my hands and I may have been Googling and I found a shirt. As a diehard Jeff Gordon fan that I've been looking for a while, but that conversation back in like February or March triggered me to be like, I should just do another Google search. It's been a couple of years. And I found the 2015 Jeff Gordon Championship t-shirt. Had he won the race at Homestead or finished first of the final four drivers. Now you're going to be like, no, wait, it's not real. That might be fake. No. Came with the tags. I kind of accidentally ripped it off earlier tonight when I was cleaning, but actual NASCAR tag, and I can tell it's real by the holographic sticker at the bottom, because at this particular time in NASCAR fandom history, they had this hologram program where if you entered your hologram tickets number, you got like, I don't know, like freebies or discounts or I don't know.
A lot of cool wallpapers and screensavers.
Yeah, another failed NASCAR marketing gimmick, because now they got a whole new one that's out there. So anyways, so I am repping the 2015 Jeff Gordon championship t-shirt. Had he won the championship in 2015, his final year in NASCAR, and I have to say it's pretty darn cool. I found it on eBay. It's an extra large, so it's really, really big on me.
Wow, that is way too big for her. She needs a size small youth.
But how cool is that? I found it.
That is really cool. That is really cool, Becca.
And this weekend is the championship for NASCAR, which a 24 car is running for a championship. Good luck to Kyle Larson and William Byron, who I will be cheering for this weekend, down in Phoenix, because Jessup and I are going to the championship weekend this weekend. So
no love for Christopher Bell or Ryan Blaney?
Like Ryan Blaney. I do like Ryan. He's a cool dude, but I've always been a Hendrick girl from the very beginning. So I gotta stick with my Hendrick boys. We are leaving Friday night around 10 p.m. from Bismarck, and we should be landing in Phoenix around 10 p.m. local time. So our hotel is about 30 minutes from the airport, and then we are gonna stay at the official NASCAR partner, which is like Blue Green Vacations, aka a timeshare.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Saturday night we'll stay at the timeshare. Sunday night we'll stay at the timeshare, and then on Monday morning, bright and early, we get to go through the timeshare pitch. Woo! And say no.
That's exciting.
You have to keep an open mind, Becca. That's what they ask.
And maybe you guys can even buy one of those timeshares down there.
What's that show? What's that show?
And then you can move.
So what's that show where they're like, we
want
to buy this house. We're looking for a mansion in the woods in Pennsylvania, but I am a nonprofit worker and my husband works.
Southlanders.
Yes, that's it. That's what I feel like.
They see 3 houses and then they choose one.
I work for a nonprofit.
This is our $1 billion room. This is for anybody. Wink, wink. Anybody. So that's where you're like, oh, we could have this. And then they're like, and then this is what a normal room looks like, which is still nice. But at the same time, it's like, well, I want the other room. Well, you have to buy the Silver Elite Centennial Platinum Gold Deluxe Diamond Encrusted. You own your own like mini island within a country that has oil package.
You know what, Mason?
We've sat through a few of these a time or two before.
Helgi should buy one of those timeshares down there, and then we could use it in the wintertime if we want to go down for like racing, to a lot of the events down in Arizona and Nevada, and we could just stay at that house, and then they could come if they want, but we don't need to come. But we could, definitely be there and enjoy it ourselves.
Anyways, interesting shirt, Becca.
I've been saving this for a long time because I found this like in March or April. So stemming from that conversation, I think it was off camera, but
granted that I didn't know you super well back in 2015, was it?
Yeah.
Just imagining now, like if I was around you, had Gordon won that 5th title. Oh gosh. I would have prayed for Jessup very much.
The best part was, Jeff Gordon won the race at Martinsville that particular year, and I was at a baby shower. So I got home like 8:00 at night, and my roommate at the time, my best friend Shay, was like, I recorded the race for you. I can't tell you who wins, but you're going to love it. I'm thinking like, oh my God, crazy shit happened, right? I didn't think Jeff Gordon was going to win. He didn't have the best season in 2015. He kind of lucked his way in to the Final Four, but
and McMurray kind of let him have that one because it was just
I would agree.
Story.
Yes, I would definitely agree.
I know.
You got a pity win.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, Jeff Gordon wins the race at Martinsville. the following weekend, I have VIP hot passes to the races at Texas. So like Jeff Gordon's already locked into the Final Four. I'm going to go see Jeff Gordon and go on to in his final season.
Cornered him in a bathroom.
I was say, is this a bathroom incident?
Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, I had the greatest time in Texas.
So was
And,
this the birth of the Becca poop walk?
Yep.
No.
Yes.
No,
yes.
real things. Stop it.
And Mason, it's the Reba walk.
Reba,
Remember,
poop walk.
Reba.
My mistake.
She has
Thank you
multiple
all.
personalities at a racetrack.
But anyways, it was a great year.
Awesome. Well, once again, very nice shirt. And before this gets further and further off the rails, Jessup, who or what are you repping?
Well, Mason, I'm continuing to be non-relevant in my series of non-relevancy. I am wearing a, I think it's Nagel Speedway which is about an hour northwest of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's an 8th-mile kart track with high banked clay. It is claimed to be the fastest kart track in all of Pennsylvania. And that's about all I care to know about it because it's irrelevant.
That is pretty close to irrelevant as relevant can get, as far as we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still open. It actually looks like a really nice little kart track. But outside of that, it's on 238 Pickens Road, Coropolis, Pennsylvania. 15108. Phone number 724-869-3359. It has a 5 out of 5 rating for 7 weeks.
Awesome.
Speaking of, where are our 5-star ratings? We have been giving you good content. I want to read something, or else I'm going to give myself a 5-star.
And if you really want to, race fans, podcast listeners, and everybody else, if you don't feel comfortable giving a rating on that directly through there, you can always text or call our podcast hotline number, which is 701. And we'll make sure that we get that information read online at one of our next tapings.
And caution on John and Becca.
I have been waiting to read that all night. And I was like, where's there going to be a good spot? That was a good spot.
So who gets the caution and the black flag here?
Well, I said things that were normal and were relevant, so I'm pretty sure it's Becca.
John should get a caution for creating more work for me unnecessarily.
He doxed me on the internet. Doxing's illegal.
And Becca gets a caution for swearing.
Yay!
Which is actually not the first
Actually,
time
she gets a black
swore
flag
on
because
the
she's already been
podcast
out for
tonight.
a while.
Oh, that's our.
No.
Hold on
No.
1 second. That's
You
our
were reaching
caution.
the first time. That's my first caution. Stop
That's
it.
a third caution on the night.
No.
So everybody else, black, yellow.
No, you're not doing it correctly. There.
Oh boy, we are definitely.
Isn't
Good
you're
thing
gonna
we
have
don't
fun
have much of an
editing this
agenda
tomorrow.
tonight.
That was
Oh gosh. Well, to finish off, who or what are you repping? I went and dug through my library of shirts and kind of found one from a few years ago. I want to say this is from 2019 or 2020. What, Jessup?
Libraries are for books.
You can have many different libraries. You can have different
with
libraries
that,
for all sorts
Folks,
of
we bring out the first black flag of the night for Mason.
Jessup is
stay
reaching
in
for
your
cautions
lane.
at this point.
Yes, that
I'm
flag
already
matches
leading.
Mason.
Stay in your lane. Anyways, this
Who's
shirt's
leading
from
right now? Is it me?
2019 or 2020. This is Dosh Racing. Both Tanner and Matt, who race for Soda Street Stocks at this time. Kind of see that on the back of the shirt, both the 15 and 21. I don't believe Tanner's raced in the last couple years that I've seen personally.
He has sold his car.
Okay. And
He would race like once or twice a year in the last couple of years. Ever since he and his wife had a baby, he just hasn't raced a whole lot.
yeah, family and life gets busy at certain points. Obviously, Matt's been racing consistently over the last couple of years. Unfortunately, ended 2023 on a rough note with rolling over after leading several laps at Oktoberfest. But this was a kind of cool shirt to kind of dig up and kind of look at. And yeah, happy to rep Dosh Racing. Hopefully we'll see what Matt ends up doing heading into 2024, and hope to see Tanner out at the track at some point again too. I'm sure, because I know a lot of racers kind of take some time off when they start a family and things get busier. But after a little while, I've seen with many racers, they come back and kind of get into something different. So be cool to see Tanner back at the track in a race car as well. So that is who or what we are repping. Don't have much for a track pack report, obviously, since the bulk of the racing season's done, but hopefully the Falcons will have a nice riveting report from the Fabricated Championship 4 at Phoenix this upcoming weekend.
Whoa! What did you mean by that?
Fabricated.
What?
Do you know who the champion's gonna be? Can I have a sneak peek?
Yeah.
I don't know who the champion's going to be. I know
Actually,
it's a fabricated system.
Let's be honest on this. No, Jessup, I agree with you on this. Let's be honest. Just because Mason's favorite driver, we will not name, did not make the championship 4.
Thank God.
This
Because
year,
of my new favorite driver,
again.
the logo.
It's just too bad that, he just overdrove and smacked the wall back in Homestead. We do know, though, for sure, he will not be the champion for 2023.
This
That
is
is
a caution
factual.
on John. I don't know that he's necessarily my favorite currently. I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite NASCAR driver at this point.
Well, I do, and it's not yours.
I like Kyle Larson,
Same.
and he's in the championship 4.
I got so
You
many
like
guys.
somebody else who, likes working on racing.
I cheer for so many people. I got B-Rad. I got the logo. I got Kyle. Now I got C-Bell. Oh, there's so many. And then Kurt.
I'm actually content with the championship 4 this year.
I don't
like-
mind anybody in that final 4. I'm like, I could take anybody to win. I'm not even.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And even better in the Xfinity side, Riley Herbst is not even in the conversation at all. It's such a shame.
I'm gonna just
Did
say
you
this.
know
I
this
think
though?
It is so weird how much Mason tolerates
he
so
just
many other people, and he
dislike.
has such disdain against Riley Herbst.
And
It
you know what's
doesn't
funny about
feel
this?
natural.
Riley won a race at Las Vegas by the widest margin of victory in an Xfinity race over there, and just put a whooping on the field, and then almost followed it up with another win the following week. And yet Mason is still just bitter against him.
Can we talk about the RCR drama from this past weekend? Holy moly, they have a PR scandal on their hands right now.
It is
Yeah,
kind
It's
of
a little
mess.
interesting.
Is it a scandal though?
It's a real mess.
RCR does not like Sheldon Creed right now.
Well, he
I
wrecked
think-
both of his cars.
I do think it's funny though, because I went back and I watched the restart on when the whole thing, started, the whole thing. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so Austin gets into Sheldon first through turns 1 and 2. Then Sheldon returns the favor in turns 1 and 2 on the white flag lap. They get together down the back straightaway. The whole incident happens in 3 and 4. And then Richard Childress is mad about it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, do you realize both your drivers were driving about the same way during that last 2 laps? So you probably should take a quick look in the mirror, because both of them are probably not the most cleanest drivers out there ever. Anyhow,
I was gonna say I first when I saw it, I'm like, wow, Sheldon Creed's driving like a goon. But then like you said, you kind of laid it out, like both of them were kind of like hitting on each other and kind of like pushing them all around the racetrack. And I feel like if I were a team owner, knowing the situation and knowing that you could possibly get both of them in the final 4 if they fall a certain way, I would have relayed that information to the drivers and made it very clear, like, hey, let's try and get in this scenario, which I think if Sheldon was in a must win, and I think if Austin was in second, they would have probably both made the final 4.
correct. Yep.
So
I think based on the way the points were falling, that would be correct.
if I were a team owner and that was like my big goal to try to get one, if not both, in the final 4, I would have really made that message clear to both drivers before that final restart.
But NASCAR's really not known for team orders, though. That's more
Right.
of an F1 thing.
I
But
believe Michael Waltrip got into a lot of trouble along with Clint Boyer
yeah,
and Michael Waltrip.
Brian
Racing.
Vickers and
Yeah, there was some scandalous things happening there. So now we're on to power rankings.
Yes, which has actually also been another hot topic, and nice. We got some nice interaction over our first iteration of classes for power rankings. We're going to tackle, I believe, 4 more today. So I think what we're going to start with today, kind of kick things off a little bit slow, but Slingshots, we're going to tackle that. And of course, Slingshots race all across the state of North Dakota, Jamestown, Williston, Estevan. Minot's had them a few times, so definitely some variety to choose from for the Slingshots. And so who wants to list out a few names so we can put out our top 10 for the Slingshots in North
Are
Dakota?
you going to share your screen, Mason, so that I don't have to do like a mental, like, remember thing?
Well, do you have the spreadsheet open?
No. Is there?
Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. You're the
Is there a
best.
link?
Oh,
Let me
Yeah,
close all these different windows I was browsing earlier.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
Mason, I'm going to start naming off drivers.
okay, go for it.
they're right there.
Okay. AJ Matsky.
Okay,
Can I also list off drivers?
yeah, feel
Yes.
free.
Woohoo!
Need to figure
I
out this 10
will
list.
go with Landon Goodrow, Slade and Pfeiffer, Jackson Carroll. Anyone else want to chime
Yeah,
in?
I got a couple.
Sawyer Goodrow.
Corbin Krogh.
Which Campbell was it in Minot? Oh, Carver Ballroot was who I was thinking of because he won a couple times up in Minot, I believe.
How about Jacob Campbell?
Jacob Campbell is the one I was thinking of.
Jacek Ashworth,
Haley
Jace-
Maddox.
Eli Turnboot, Hudson Mann, and Brogan Wagner, and Gunnar Raynard.
Mason, you
Oh,
got mine with Haley, right?
yep. Hudson Man, Gunner, Brogan, Jacek Ashworth. Was there another one you listed from Estevan? Eli Turnbull. That was the other one. Oh boy, we have a lot of names already. Okay.
Yeah. Holy
I'll let
moly.
you guys clean it up from here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Do we have
Holy.
Do we have Weston Ranker in there?
Not on our list.
Yeah, we probably should put him in there too.
I'm not gonna lie, that really hurt my voice doing the Mr. H thing.
Yeah,
Lots
you
of
went on a
feel-
full-fledged rant. Folks
Don't feel
at
sorry
home,
for you.
folks at home won't be able to hear that rant, unfortunately, because that's gonna get cut.
Oh, God.
We have a time limit on our shows.
Okay, so I think we got enough drivers, right? Or
Yeah,
are
we have
missing anybody?
15 here. All right,
Great
so
list.
I think we should start at the top of this and work our way down. And like I said, all these names are really good names. All
Mhm.
these kids have done a really good job this season. I feel like I want to give the edge to number 1 to Slade and Pfeiffer.
Agreed.
I would agree.
That's number 1. Move that from the remainder of the list. Now from here, honestly, this is going to be really tough. I will put out another one. Brogan Wagner, at least at the beginning of the year when I saw him, was
yep.
dominant.
That's right. I forgot about him.
Like Brogan Wagner was really dominant. So I'll put him at number 2 for now. And then from here, so AJ won the championship in Jamestown, correct?
And
He also
multiple races, yep.
had multiple race wins too.
Yep, won several times in Jamestown. I think was Haley the champion in Williston?
She
Correct.
was.
Yep, correct.
Okay, let me look at Williston's point standings real
And
quick.
some of these kids came down to Jamestown and raced against AJ, and AJ still beat them. Obviously, Sladen was your Stock Car Stampede champion, but AJ held his own all year and won the championship in the Slingshots in Jamestown. So definitely an impressive feat this summer.
So I'm comfortable with putting AJ number 3.
I would agree.
AJ at number 3. So looking at point standings in Williston, so Haley was your points leader, or she won points by 7 over Weston, your anchor, and then the Goodrows were 3rd and 4th. Landon had 2 feature wins. And then who else got feature wins there? Jacek, Ashworth, Hudson Man, and Brogan Wagner are also feature winners there.
How many wins did Carver have?
Good question. If I can find him on my race pass. Maybe not. This might be more challenging than I thought. Oh, Sage Borrud's also another one.
Yes. Yep, he should be on that list too.
Definitely.
Sage Borrud. Oh, it's because I was spelling Carver's name wrong. It's spelled with a K, not a C.
Good job, Mason.
My mistake. Okay, so we got Carver Borrud. 3 wins in 11 events. And he won twice at Nodak and once in Williston. So right now we have three out of the, I guess, 16 names is what we have on our list right now. I would put, so Landon got a couple of feature wins. I believe Landon finished 2nd at the Stampede as well.
No, second was Denton Schill.
Or Denton Schill, and then was
Landon
Landon or
got third?
third?
Landon was 3rd, I believe.
Okay. So I'm considering putting Landon at number 4.
Okay.
He had 3 wins in the season.
I would agree with that.
Number 4. How many wins do you remember that Jackson Carroll have? Don't want to forget about him too.
Jackson, I don't think he had any this year.
He had 1. One on June 10th. That was the Gumke Memorial Night.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I would say next would probably be either Carver or maybe Hudson Man.
Yeah, how many did Hudson have for wins?
Hudson had, trying to do quick typing here. Hudson had 4 wins. Won twice at Nodak and once in Estevan and once in Williston. So I'd probably put Hudson Man next.
I think I would do Hudson Man next too.
Okay. Hudson Man at number 5, and then probably Carver at 6.
Yeah, Carver at 6. And then would it be Haley at 7?
I was thinking Haley. She had no wins, but she was very consistent and won the track championship in Williston. Jackson got a win in Jamestown and raced for several wins. Just AJ had the faster car most nights. I definitely put Jackson in the top 10. Whether it's
and where did Sage? What about how many wins did Sage have?
That's what I was gonna check right here. Sage. He only raced 6 times and didn't have any wins this year.
Okay.
He raced 6 times and got 5 top 10s.
Okay.
So I'd probably put Jackson ahead of Sage.
And what about Gunnar Rayner? How many wins did he have, or did he not have any wins?
Gunnar had 4 wins in 19 events, 1 at Williston, Estevan, and 2 at Thunder Mountain. I'd probably say Gunnar should be 8.
I would put Gunnar as number 8 for sure.
So that leaves 2 more spots in our top 10 between Jackson, Sawyer Goodrow, Corbin Krogh, Jacob Campbell, Jacek Ashworth, Sage Borrud, Eli Turnbull, and Weston Uranker.
Jacob ran 16 features, finished in the top 10 13 times, in the top 5 8 times, and got a win at Southwest. So I think
What about Weston?
Weston didn't have any wins in Williston.
Okay,
He's second in points there. and had 14 events, 2 top 5s, and 7 top 10s.
Yeah, so he didn't run great. I mean, he had a good season, but
Sawyer Goodrow had 13 features, ran 13 features, had 12 top 10s and 6 top 5s.
no wins, right?
Mm-mm.
So the remaining out of those that have wins, I think it's Corbin. I think Jacob Campbell has 1, and then Jacek Ashford also has 1. Oh, and Jackson Carroll. So between those 4 for probably the last 2 spots in the top 10.
Eli Turnbull had 14 features this year, 13 top 10s and 11 top 5s. Mostly thirds and seconds. Up at the Estevan, Nodak, Dickinson, Williston areas. So ran up front, just couldn't find victory lane for Eli.
Yeah, the competition in the Slingshots is pretty tough this year. And
especially out west with those high
Yes.
car counts for them. So this is not an easy list to compile.
no, I want to, if I were to do the last 2 spots, let me check one more person. I forgot Jacob Campbell's stats. He
You
also
also
had
have
a win.
Jacob listed twice in our spreadsheet right now, Mason. So just so you know.
Thank you. So I think between Jacob, Jackson, and Corbin for the last 2 spots in the top 10. If I were to vote, I would put Jackson at 9 and then Jacob Campbell at 10.
Why don't you have Jacek in the top 10?
Well, that's a good. He won at Williston too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the track champion at Estevan.
Oh, okay. Actually, he has 3 wins and a track championship.
Good point, Jessup. Yeah, that's a really good point.
So he should probably be at least
5.
So if you put him at 5, would you move? Then you would move Carver, Haley, and Gunner down.
I would move right about Hudson down.
All from Hudson down. I would say
Yeah.
I would agree with that because Estevan is a really tough place
They get
to.
18 a night.
Yeah,
get a lot.
He's got a race against Brogan.
yeah.
And whenever Slayden did Slayden go up there this year?
A few times.
I think he did a few times. Yeah.
And then,
So rethinking all of this,
really,
Slayden only got 1 win, and that was at the Stampede, which fantastic competition. But there's a few, I don't know.
I mean, that is a good point.
He only had 1 win on the year. That was at the Stampede, which is stout competition for the Slingshots. But does Slayden deserve the number 1 spot?
No, you do bring up a good point because I think I base that more on recency.
Mm-hmm.
So how far do you want to drop Slayden?
Hey, I want to look up Brogan real quick.
He's got 7 wins and 17 events.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive.
And he had larger car counts to compete against most nights.
So I'd probably be comfortable putting Brogan at 1, and then Slayden, would you put?
I'd
Slayden
maybe drop him down to 3rd. Because Brogan won a lot of races. AJ won a lot of races. Granted, AJ had fewer car counts or had smaller car counts.
Okay.
But still, AJ still had a fantastic year and a track championship under his belt.
I'm comfortable with that. Does that sound good to everyone else?
I would agree.
All righty. So then there's just 1 spot left in our top 10. After all this shuffling, who would we want to put in as our 10th and final Slingshot? Probably be between Jacob Campbell and Jackson Carroll.
I think I would put Jacob in the top 10 just because he raced more, but then he also had to compete against larger car counts everywhere he raced. And he did The advantage that Jacob has over Jackson is Jacob has more tracks to travel to. So he raced at he also raced at Jamestown, but he raced at Nodak, Williston, Southwest. Has 16 feature starts, 13 top 10s, and 8 top 5s, and a win on the season. So I think I would put Jacob in the top 10 over Jackson, although Jackson did have a very good season this year as well.
I would agree though on that too. I think I would put Jacob in the top 10.
Okie dokie. So, our top 10, then, as it stands, Brogan Wagner, number 1, AJ Matsky, number 2, Sladen Pfeiffer, number 3, Landon Goodrow, number 4, Jacek Ashworth, number 5, Hudson Mann, 6, Carver Ballroot, 7, Haley Maddox, 8, Gunnar Rader, 9th, and Jacob Campbell, 10. And we have a lot of honorable mentions, including Eli Turnbull, Weston Uranker, Jackson Carroll, Sawyer Goodrow, Corbin Krogh, Sage Borud, and I have too many names. So we have 6 people in our honorable mentions.
Okay, that's good.
That's
Alrighty,
an amazing list of future racers right there.
Future racers, yep.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on into the hobby stocks, and this will kind of include like the Central Dakota hobby stocks, like race at Jamestown, Mandan, include the full-bodied hobby stocks down at Cheyenne Speedway, and also the pure stocks up at Devil's Lake. They kind of like intermingle.
And Bishop.
And Wishick, thank you. Alrighty. Jessup, you've been relatively quiet so far. You got a couple of names to kick things off here?
Go with Derek Eppert. Becca's turn.
I'll go with Bill Hultberg.
Jonathan.
Jaden Michelson.
Good one. Oh. I can spell his last name right because it's not super conventional.
You spelled it correctly.
I will put Travis Ettinger down.
Okay. Yes, up.
Hold on. I gotta make sure I have the right people in the right classes.
That is important.
Wow. Let's go. Josh Rorick.
Okay. It's also another name that's kind of difficult to spell at certain points. Becky, you got another one?
Yes. Let's go. Let's go with Jeremy Hare.
Jeremy Hare. John.
Elliot Horner.
Oh, my turn.
Go ahead. Feel free to just, if you're out of turn, go ahead.
I will go with Joe Armstrong. Ha. Becca doesn't even know where he races.
I'll go with Dylan Sandberg.
I feel like you got to put Dylan Steele in the mix too.
Yes.
John Gertner Jr.
Gertner Jr. All right.
How about
Seth
Kelby
Howe
Anderson?
Keller.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Seth Howe Keller.
This track.
Kelby Anderson?
What's that?
Kelby Anderson?
I was gonna say Kelby Anderson, maybe Billy Carroll as well.
Asher Williams.
Asher Williams was also my other one.
Ooh, got hot at the end of the year.
How many names do we
Yes,
have?
literally until the engine blew.
10, 11, 12. We have 15 names right now. Any other ones that we may be missing here?
Checking some point standings here.
Yep, I'm checking
Maybe.
points as well. Because there's actually quite a few names here that could be in consideration.
I'd agree.
And as always, fans, like this list is not going to be perfect, but let us know who you think we should put in the top 10 or what things you may correct on us.
We might have missed a driver or two. You gotta let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. I hope you guys can't
Absolutely.
hear my crazy
Oh.
cat right now.
Did we say Jeremy Hare?
We did, yes.
Yes.
We did. He's in there. Yep.
He's
I
your
would
track
put-
champion at Tri-County.
I would add one more in just because I feel bad if we don't mention his name, Eric Bush.
Mm,
Yeah, he's top 3 in points. Yep.
over at Jamestown.
Yep. So we have 16 names here. So we got some
It's gonna be
massive
tough.
sorting to do here as well. So do you want to start at number 10 and work our way up, or do you want to start at the top and work our way down?
Gosh. Hang on. I'm
I think I do
opening
the
up my
top on the way down.
I think I would too. I'm pulling up my race winners spreadsheet. Hey, I'm a crazy cat right now.
So
Sorry.
for my number 1, I would put Jaden Michelson.
I could get
I
behind
would
that.
as well.
Yeah.
Just with how many races he won this year.
He traveled and won at numerous racetracks.
Like he was,
And he was
he's-
also the
go ahead.
Mama Vetter champion as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he won the track championship over
Won at
at
Cheyenne for sure.
Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Yep.
In Jamestown, he was runner-up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because he's like the lone South Dakota driver on this list.
But he raced a lot in North Dakota. So.
Right. I mean, they don't race this class down in South Dakota, so it comes up here all the time.
And he has family down in the Wishick area, so to go to Jamestown and Cheyenne, it. Oh my God, my cat is. Hang on, I gotta.
He wants to
Take
help
care
with
of
the sorting too.
Yes. Okay, so number 2. I would put Derek. I would do Derek Appert as number 2.
I was gonna say Derek would probably be number 2 for me.
Yep. Yep, Derek would be number 2 for me as well.
Number 3, I gotta check stats on Dylan Sandberg.
Yeah, it between Dylan or Travis for me is what I was gonna say.
I know Dylan didn't race the entire year, and he had a lot of stuff going on. But
he
like
had
once
a
he started
good
racing
win
in late
percentage.
August, he was pretty quick.
Yeah, he had a good win percentage as well.
I feel like I would give the edge to Travis, just because over the season he was pretty fast. It won the Stock Car Stampede over Dylan.
Yep.
So I would be
I would
comfortable
too.
doing Travis Ettinger and then Dylan Sandberg.
Yep. In number 5 area, I would probably go Armstrong as number 5.
I'd be good with that.
Because how many
Very-
wins did he have? He had quite a few,
6
right?
out of 12.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would do him as number 5.
Yep.
Yep.
Dominant
Cracked it
driver
up
up in
in
Devil's
Devil's
Lake.
Lake.
All right, so let me get number 6.
I think I would give the nod to Asher Williams. He had a really strong second half of the year, picking up wins over at the Dakota Speedway and Jamestown Speedway. So
I don't know if I would do Asher or Jeremy Hare.
I was gonna say I was thinking maybe Jeremy Hare.
Because Jeremy won the track championship down in Wishick.
let me pull up his results real quick.
Who are we looking
He was
at?
always top
Here
top
and Williams.
5-ish, it seemed like.
Tri-County. He
Well,
had
Asher's-
he had 2 wins down in Wishick because Derek was your season opener winner. Jeremy Hare went back to back, then Jaden, then Kelly, then Derek, and then Chris Michelson finished out the year down in Wishick. But he was your track champion down at the Tri-County Speedway.
I mean, Asher's first win was at Dakota Speedway. But that was during the Mama Better Challenge.
He's got 2
Hang on, I
wins,
can look that up too.
top 5s and 9 top 10s. But he also stopped in the middle of August.
Yeah, because I think he blew his motor.
He blew his motor and was done.
Asher won on the Mama Vetter Tour. Yep, you're correct, Mason. Back in July 7.
Oof.
What did he beat that night?
Cars, John. Cars.
Drivers.
I feel like wasn't Jeremy like right there in the top 5 that night too?
Working on it. Give me a second.
I'll look it up too.
I think that's definitely our next 2 would be.
He beat Derek Appert, Jeremy Hare,
Okay.
Bill Hultberg, Kelly Horner, Jaden Michelson, Carly Horner, Josh Rorick, Mitch Gordon, and Hayden Aberley.
A stout field of cars.
Yeah.
If I were to give the nod, I would probably still give it to Jeremy Hare.
His other win came over Travis, Eric Bush, Leah Christensen, Billy Carroll, Gade Gentzkow, Ryan Mund, Trip Nelson, Dalton, and William Siebert.
Yeah, I think, Mason, I would agree with you. I think I would give it to Jeremy and then Asher because Jeremy has a track championship. That's the only reason why I think I would increase it a little bit more.
Okay, so that is 6 and 7. So we have 3 more spots available. We still have Holtberg, Rourke, Kelly Horner, Dylan Steele, John Gartner Jr., Seth Keller, Kelby Anderson, Billy Carroll, and Eric Bush.
I think I'd go Bill Hultberg next.
Yeah, I think I would do Hultberg 8 and Horner 9th.
Agreed.
Horner's got 2 wins, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s out of 19 events. Whereas Hultberg has 1 win, 8 top 5s, 14 top 10s.
So Seth Keller got the season opener at Jamestown. John Gartner Jr. got the season opener at Mandan.
Oh, jeez, this is going to be difficult.
Kelby ran top 3 in the point standings at Cheyenne, but I don't know how many wins he got off the top of my head.
Don't know if he got any wins.
I don't think he had any wins.
Who?
Kelby Anderson.
Kelby Anderson.
Kelby Anderson. Who else do we have on that list?
Yeah. He won it. Oh, yeah, he won at Cheyenne on Memorial Day.
Who did?
Kelby.
I personally would go, in my personal opinion, I would put Seth Keller because in the bigger shows this year, I'm just looking up some of the bigger shows for him. He had pretty good finishes in the bigger events.
And he also traveled a lot more than John Gartner Jr. did too, which I would take into consideration in the grand scheme of things.
Like how they did across the fields, and Seth was a little bit higher up in those traveling events.
I would agree.
So say I was looking between him and Josh Rourke because I know Josh didn't have any wins this year. He was up in points at Dakota Space, so I could put Seth Keller at number 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, consider he's got to win.
Did Seth win?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the only other person I guess you could kind of throw in there would be Chris Rangloff. He got a win at Jamestown.
You did, yeah. I can put him in on the long list of honorable mentions.
Holy moly!
And he actually beat a pretty thick field here.
Hey,
Travis Edinger, Jaden Michelson, Joe Jacobson, Tripp, Cade, Leanne, and then
Gonna work our graphics person pretty heavily on these couple lists so far. So right now our top 10 for the Bombers / Pure Stock / Hobby Stocks. Number 1, Jane Michelson. Number 2, Derek Appert. Number 3, Travis Edinger. Number 4, Dylan Sandberg. 5, Joe Armstrong, followed by Jeremy Hare, Asher Williams, Bill Hultberg, Kelly Horner, and Seth Keller.
Again, race fans, if you think we missed a driver, we got them in the wrong order, let us know. We want to hear from you guys too.
I mean, then you got to bring up the whole Tate Bullis argument. He is the Devil's Lake champion.
Another honorable mention.
He's got to win. Well, that's a loaded gun. The whole that argument. He's got to win 10 top 5s, 14 top 10s.
Well, so we got the second one done. We're going to tackle 2
Good
more.
enough, Mason says.
What's that?
Mason says good enough.
So did John.
We have a lot of names on the list. We could probably add 5 more if we really wanted to.
The only reason why I said Tate is he's the points champion.
That's true. Yeah, which does just carry some weight. So you definitely deserve to be mentioned. I'm going to change gears before we get to the Legends. I think we'll save that one for last for this episode because that's going to be a very, very tough one.
That one's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, let's change gears and go to the Wingless Sprints. Now, of
Okay.
course, they raced mainly up at Devil's Lake, but they had other races sprinkled around the region, including at Nodak. I believe they raced a couple times in Grand Forks and also in Williston.
And Underwood.
and
McLean had him.
This is
Mhm.
going to be tough because unless we specifically know all the names, I don't think they have a points deal.
They
They
They do
don't.
not keep track of
Nope.
points. No.
Okay, so I'll name some people off. Adam Sobling.
Wow, John.
Miles Tomlinson.
Jeremy Guyot.
Yes.
Dusty Lawson.
Hang on. I'm
Kevin
pulling results
Lawson.
now.
Lawson.
Colin
Okay.
Severance.
Mike Tomlinson. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out. Corey Pump.
Steve, what's his last name?
Nordrum?
37. Thank you.
Nordrum. Jeremy Lizakowski.
Yes. Yeah, he won. He won quite a few this year.
Also Ross Cummings.
I'm probably gonna say this name wrong, but Ken Ron? Ken
Roan.
Horn?
Roan.
Horn? Roan?
That's a Jessup area driver. So
I think it's
Okay.
Roan.
Well, he picked up a win in River Cities, so
Well, that's another tough one because he
I
is
say,
the guy.
did he race enough in North Dakota to be?
I don't know. I'm just
So-
throwing out names, guys. This is what we're doing.
Did you say Ross Cummings?
I did. Yes.
Yep.
Did you say Ross Goings?
What a dad joke
Wow,
I ever
okay.
That
heard.
was a really good dad joke.
I'm silly, Gordy.
Okay. I could probably include Kenan on the list. He did race over at Devil's Lake a few times. Raced a handful of times at Devil's Lake and Grand Forks, so I would include him.
Brandon Palm.
I was gonna check how much did he race this year.
It shows on my race pass that he ran 12 features, had 1 win, 5 top 5s, and 8 top 10s.
Okay, let's add him to our list.
Nick Schurig,
Oh yeah, yep.
he ran
Sure.
14 events, 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 13 top 10s.
So how many names do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 13 names. Anyone else that we're missing
Try
off
it.
the top of our heads?
Shurik? No, Nick Shrike?
Yep, we were just talking about Nick Schurig.
Okay, well then let's see. Only other person I would say, see if they race enough in North Dakota. Nick Duranko.
I think that was a 1 weekend thing.
Yeah, but he kicked the crap out of everybody.
I know he did, but that was a 1 weekend thing.
I feel like I'm gonna veto that one just because he's mainly Minnesota. I mean, he's really good. Don't get me wrong.
I'm upset about this.
I'm sorry.
I know you are.
But no, hold on. He raced 3 nights in North Dakota. He got a first, and a second.
Was that the same weekend?
I think it was. All of the guys
He's
on our
got a
list.
higher winning percentage in North Dakota than all of our other drivers.
No, he's not included. I'm sorry.
Can he at least be put in honorable mention?
Sure.
Yeah.
We only have 4 people in the honorable mentions
Well,
list.
maybe
for this
they
one.
need to step their game up.
Okay, so we have 14 names. Let's just keep it consistent and start at the top for this one. I would probably say Adam Solwick, number 1.
I'd agree.
I think I would agree with that assessment.
Hold on. Double checking something here.
Well, granted, he did
He
switch over.
did halfway through the season. He did switch over to
Wing sprints,
the wing sprints. Yeah,
the 410s.
But before
But
that, he was
it-
dominant. I mean,
I
Yeah.
would agree. And I
Yeah.
think that's where the argument could be like, does he fall because he only ran half the season, or does he stay
I'm
up
gonna
top because
argue
he
with
was
you
so
guys on
good?
this.
I would keep him at number 1 just because he's been so good for so long within this racing division. But that's where the fans can chime in and tell me I'm wrong.
I was to say Jeremy is the other one that was really good this season. Lizakowski was really good.
I want to say Lizakowski is always really good. So for number 2, I believe it would be between Jeremy and Miles.
I have to look up some stats here.
Ken Rowe.
I would say Ken Roan should be like around the 4 to 5 range.
4 to 5 areas, what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I would say Jeremy number 2 personally.
I think I would go
Jeremy-
Jeremy over Miles.
Jeremy won. Didn't he win one of the nights of the Wingless Nationals too?
No. Did he? I don't think he did.
I can look this up real quick.
Yeah, he got the first night.
Yeah.
And then he.
Yeah, I would go Jeremy over Miles. Miles
and he won their
also had a
last night.
fantastic year.
Yeah,
But
that'd be good. Who's our first?
Yeah.
Sobolik.
Sobolik, Lizakowski, Tomlinson.
Wait a second. Hold on. There's one more person.
All right, so that's 3. Do you want to put Ken Roan at 4?
Yeah.
So I would say the next one to consider would probably be either him, Ross Cummings, or Dusty Lawson, which Ross had 1 win,
40. Holy
8
moly.
top 5s, 9 top 10s out of 12 events.
Dusty had a win at Nodak.
I would
Yeah.
say Eric Guyot.
How many wins did he have, Justin?
He had 2, but he raced 21 times, had 18 top 5s.
Yeah, I would do Eric.
There's a
Guyot
Jeremy
up there.
Guyot on our list. Is that supposed to be Eric Guyot?
That should be
Rob-
Eric. That's my mistake.
Okay, he had a win at McLean.
That corrected Mason.
I'm correcting it.
And Dusty
Who's
also
this
had a
other
win at
Guyot?
McLean.
Well,
I could put Dusty ahead of Eric.
I wouldn't actually do that. I think Eric should be ahead of Dusty just because he had those 18 top 5s out of 21 events.
Yeah, say more
Okay.
races, I think. So then I would put Dusty
You
and
convinced me.
then probably Dusty. You know,
We want
that's
Ron
true.
in
That
there
Jeremy
somewhere?
Guyot, I almost confused it with Jerome Guyot.
yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, the 40 modified. Mhm.
Yeah, my bad.
We want to put Ken in there too.
I would probably put Ken after Dusty.
Then we
Steve
can
had
put
an
Nick.
impressive win at McLean earlier this year too.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots right now. 4 spots remain.
How many features did Steve
Where am
win?
I looking here? Oh, it's way over here.
Steve
Orgrum.
won for sure in McLean because we were there for that night.
We were announcing.
Yes.
1 win, 9 top 5s, and 20 top 10s out of 22 events. All right, so let me look at Nick Shirk's stats. 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 13 top 10s out of 14 events. I feel like I don't think
You
Brandon
can be
Palm-
up there with honorable mention.
Hi, bud.
Brandon Palm just had that 1 win with 12 events.
How about
So we're gonna be splitting hairs for these last few. I would honestly put Ross Cummings next.
Would that be number 8, Mason, or what number is that?
Number 7.
Okay.
Ross. Then it'd probably be between Steve Nordrum, Brandon Palm, and Nick Shirk, probably for the last 3.
Oh, stop.
I would probably do Steve next. Just because he has the top
Mhm.
10s. And then Nick. And then Palm?
Palm did race quite a bit.
Oh, Brandon Palm only raced 12 events.
Brandon Palm. Let me check Corey Palm's stats. I know Corey had some troubles. No, Corey doesn't have any wins. Okay. So I would say Brandon Palm would probably round out the top 10 then.
Yep.
So then, our top 10 for the Wingless Sprints. Adam Soblik, number 1, Lizakowski, number 2, Miles Tomlinson, number 3, Guyot, number 4, Dusty Lawson, 5th, followed by Ken Roan, Ross Cummings, Steve Nordrum, Nick Shirk, and Brandon Palm, with honorable mentions to Kevin Lawson, Colin Severance, Mike Tomlinson, and Nick Duranko.
I think it looks good, Mason. We did good.
Good.
Yes,
Stop it.
good.
I hate
Alrighty.
you all.
Last but not least,
Legends.
last but not least for this episode, Legends. So Okay.
This could be tough.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start naming some people.
Oh,
There's only
stop.
90 plus legends to choose from, by the way.
Okay, I'm gonna start naming Preston Martin,
Okay.
Donovan Weist,
Save some for us, John.
Alex Kikowski,
I just don't feel.
John Johnson,
Who's John Johnson?
Don Johnson,
Don
Sean.
Johnson from
Sean.
Miami Vice.
No.
Yes. Ryan Broseth,
Becca, start saying names, otherwise he's gonna keep going.
Colin Thompson, Evan Henderson, Noah
Hendrickson or
Madler.
Henderson?
Stop
The
it.
Madlers.
Ryan
Noah Madler.
Broseth.
I already said Ryan Broseth.
You said Alex.
No,
Why didn't I said Ryan?
he said
Hmm.
Brian with a B.
Fine, whatever.
Austin
Uh,
Weist.
Austin Weist.
You can play this game.
Did we get both the Madlers?
Yep, we got both Madlers. Would you put I would put Alex Broseth on there too.
Yeah, I would put Alex Broseth. I would also put Cody Mathart.
Yeah.
I have some honorable mentions on here that I think we should list. That shouldn't be top 10, but we should list.
This is gonna be
It's gonna be a long list.
a long list.
You just want me to give them to you? I've got like 4.
Go for it.
Say
I
Glenn
Oh.
Mitchell?
I'm having a brain fart, to be honest.
Did you say Glenn
Okay, so
Mitchell?
honorable mentions. Ryan Erdahl,
Yeah.
Dustin
Mitchell.
Hagen,
Yes, I agree.
Casey Martin,
Is that Casey Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Dave Nolheiser.
Alrighty, so right now we have
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13.
Got a lot of track
17 names.
champions, a lot of wins
Okay,
on
well-
the board. This could be
Yeah, let's
hard.
go through some points here before we say anything else to make sure we got everybody.
We got the top 5 in
so-
Jamestown.
Do we have the top 5 in?
Oh, did we
Cheyenne?
put Glenn Mitchell down?
I
had
just
been-
put it because Jessica mentioned him.
So your track champion at Dakota Speedway was Preston Martin. He was also your track champion in Jamestown. Your track champion in Fargo was Evan Hendrickson. Let's see. Legends in Dickinson was Noah Madler. Austin Weiss was your big national, not the national, but regional qualifier
Regional.
at the Nodak Speedway.
Top
Glenn
4.
Mitchell. Yep. Glenn Mitchell was your track champion at the Tri-County Speedway in Buffalo River.
Colin
It was
Thompson was your champion in
Evan.
Cheyenne.
Yep. Evan Hendrickson was your champion in Buffalo River. Let's see. That should be most tracks that actually run them. So
I actually think we got a good list here.
this is gonna be hard, guys. I
Wait,
let's just put the elephant in the room away, and that would be number 1, Preston Martin.
yeah,
The
that's
Minion
where I was
Man?
going. I think Preston should be number 1. I mean, he won 29 times this year
He won at
and some
6
really big
different
races.
Yes, he won at 6 different racetracks across the state. Won big races. He's your national points champion within his racing division as well. So impressive season by the
I would agree.
77 car. So I would put him numero uno.
Speaking of national points, I'm actually going to look that up right now
I'm
because that
already-
might.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of them. If you want to go for Pro Dirt, it's going to be Preston. And then down in 4th is Donovan Weist. Then Ryan Broseth in 6th. And then we slide all the way down to 13th for Austin Weist. Then Alex Broseth in 14th. Sean Johnson in 16th. And that's about it. And Nick Kina is in 21st. Then you go to your Masters Dirt. And then you have Glenn Mitchell at number 1, Anthony Davenport, AJ Davenport at 2, Scott Richardson at 5. Michael King at 6. Kevin Jensen at 7. 9th is Brian Frederick, and that rounds out your top 10. Weston Hagen at 16. And at 21 is Don Hayes. And then for your semi-pro, I don't think we need to know about the old road racing. Semi-pro, Evan Hendrickson is number 1. Colin Thompson is 4. Noah Madler 7. Cody Mackhart 10. Gage Madler 11. Tommy Quinzer 12. Joshua Weiss 13th. Xander Thompson 14th. Dustin Hagen 15th. Bryce Barnhart 16th. 18 is Erdahl. And Casey Martin 20th.
So we got quite a few up in the national points.
And the Young Lions goes to Ty Olson at 1st. Cody Chowowski 5th. And Emmett Curtis 6th. Oh, Kyle Van Mill 2nd.
So I did some quick My Race Pass research. Donovan Weiss has 9 wins. Colin Thompson has 10 wins, and Evan Hendrickson has 7 wins on the season. So I think that could be your second, or not in that particular order. I could the order could be discussed, but second, third, and fourth right there.
I would agree with that.
Wow.
I would say I'll throw out the order I was thinking. So I was thinking Donovan number 2,
Right.
Evan number 3, Colin number 4.
I'd switch Evan and Colin personally.
The only reason I say Evan is because he's got 2 track championships to Colin's 1, and he's higher in national points.
But who's got more wins?
Colin does.
Colin
Who's
does.
raced more races?
That's a good
That-
question.
Evan has 51 features on the season.
Okay, how many?
I
does
have him
Colin
up
have?
right now.
Guys, I
Colin
think-
has 56.
I might actually throw a wrench into this. I would maybe put Ryan Brossett 3rd. And the reason why is because Ryan ran 40 races in 112.
But does he have a track championship?
No, I don't think so. He didn't necessarily run.
So-
I don't think he went for track points. Yeah, I don't think he went
John,
for track
who do
points
you put
anyway.
second? If that's your 4th place guy, who do you put?
I
second
would
and
still
third?
put Donovan 2nd.
Okay.
I think I would do Preston, Donovan, Ryan Brossett, then Evan and Colin. That's how I would put them.
Because that was Evan,
But-
not Evan. Ryan was doing that truck series at the beginning of the year, wasn't he?
Ryan was gone for a little bit at the beginning of the year. Yep.
But could something be made for racing more? They traveled more, they raced more.
Oof, this is tough.
This is really hard, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I look at like win percentage too on some of these to see what it was the win percentage between, the races that they were in, especially for the top side. Obviously, Preston 1, Donovan 2. I think that one's pretty stable on those 2.
Evan had 51 features, 42 top 10s, and 35 top 5s with 7
wins.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin had 56 events with 10 wins, 36 top 5s, and 42 top 10s. Outside of the wins, pretty similar.
Yeah.
On both of them.
I
And
honestly,
then what did Ryan have?
Yeah.
Ryan had 40 races, 12 wins, 34 top 5s, and 35 top 10s.
That's a very high top 5 percentage.
Yeah, I think I would keep Ryan as 3rd, and I might actually switch Colin in front of Evan.
Oof. You've convinced me of Ryan at 3.
You convinced me as well.
Just because the races that I saw both Colin and Evan in this year, Colin, I think, won a few more of those than Evan did.
Oof.
Hard.
I'll put Colin at 4 and Evan at 5. Honestly, they could be interchanged, but
I agree, especially with how well both those young drivers ran this year.
yeah.
when I look at the bigger shows with a lot of cars, and because both those drivers were at Governor's Cup night too, and that I think that we had 47, 48. I think we had 47 cars on night two for Governor's Cup, and Colin was top five, and Evan I don't think was top five. I think he was a little bit farther back.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our top 5.
So
Number
then,
6.
so you can make a case probably for either maybe Glenn Mitchell, Alex Sikowski, or Austin Weist, or Noah Madler.
I think I want to put Noah Madler in 6. Track champion at the Southwest Speedway, has several wins over there, as well as a win at Dakota Speedway.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking maybe Noah number 6.
Oh, number 6.
Glenn Mitchell was your track champion at the Tri-County Speedway, picked up a win.
Oh, super far west.
So you went out to Big Sky.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. We won in Jamestown that night. We had 32.
He won at
They all-
Underwood too, I believe. I have to double check.
Yes,
that real
yes,
quick.
he did. Yeah, he beat Dustin Hagen that
Dustin
night by just
Hagen at
inches.
the line.
No, I could put we could put Glenn at number 7. So then 3 spots remain. Would you say
Kowski?
Kikowski?
I know-
I was gonna say I would do
say
Kukowski.
Alex. I know he didn't get credited for the Stampede win, but he ran away with that
Yeah,
race, and that
he's
a
a threat
very-
to win no matter what track he's on,
Exactly.
pretty much.
So then
Okay, so I would do Alex 8. 9th, I would do Sean Johnson.
I was gonna say Sean Johnson, then probably Austin Weist.
I would do Austin as 10.
Sean's got 7 wins. That's pretty impressive.
It's very impressive. Oh, let me remove that name. Okay, so we looks like we have our top 10. We actually went through that quicker than I thought.
Gosh, I feel like Gage should be in the top 10 as well, but there's only
you dropping out?
only 10. I know exactly who do you drop out, and I don't know who that would be. Yeah. It's a very large
I don't know who
field.
you drop out either.
stout list.
Large.
The class has
list,
become
guys.
quite large these
Stop it.
days.
Stop it. It's a stout
Alrighty,
list
so
right there.
for our top 10, we have Preston Martin at number 1, Donovan Weiss number 2, Ryan Bross at 3, Colin Thompson 4, Evan Hendrickson 5, followed by Noah Madler, Glenn Mitchell, Alex Sikowski, Sean Johnson, and Austin Weist. Your honorable mentions include Gage Madler, Alex Brosseth, Cody Mackart, Ryan Erdahl, Dustin Hagen, Casey Martin, and Dayton Olheiser. We could probably add another 10 names to that.
At least. Yes, at least.
I mean, there's
Alright.
only
I think we did
80 of them in the state.
I mean, I think we
90?
did a really good job
Mhm.
on going through that and determining
think
who would
so
be who.
too.
And I honestly, there is a name I think we should add to the honorable mention list, though, Mason. I think we should put Xander Compson on there since he
Got a
picked
few
up
wins.
that first win this year, and he ran top 5 at several of the races towards the end of the season.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I can get behind that. Holy moly, though, you're gonna make my life as a graphic designer.
Got to keep
A
you busy,
living hell.
Becca.
Keep me on my toes, that's for sure.
Did you know that Brendan Wade is really from, Minnesota?
Stop it. That was a copying and paste mistake.
Alrighty, so before we wrap up, want to give a quick shout out to Isaac Hot Sauce Sandro as our other sponsor of the Track Packers podcast. Who's still, I think, wrapping up harvesting. Hopefully, everything's all ironed out with the weather. But thank you so much, Isaac, for supporting us. Be sure to say hi to him if you ever see him during the off season or when racing starts up. He's got a new car for 2024, so excited to see that come out. And so, thank you so much, Isaac, for supporting us. Any closing thoughts for episode 34 as we head into another week of wonderful winter weather?
Praying for our farmers, because I spoke to a couple of our race car farmer drivers at the Dakota Speedway banquet. This snow is throwing a wrench into the harvest plans, so hopefully the snow melts. Obviously, when it melts, it's gonna be really muddy, so things need to kind of freeze. But prayers to the farmers out there who may have to harvest around the snow now, and I don't know when they can get in the fields, and that sucks for them.
The only other thought I had, a core question for the crowd here, especially Jessup. Do you think David Gravel is going to make up the gap between him and Brad Sweet at the World Finals this weekend?
No.
I
Nope.
don't.
I
I don't
don't.
either. I feel like Brad would have to have a big time malfunction on one of the nights to even allow Gravel back in, and Gravel would basically have to almost be perfect.
Because it's like, what, 50 points or something like that?
It's 50 points.
He would have to miss one of the features just for Gravel to have a chance. And I just don't see that happening. He's
feel like
very
this-
consistent. Unless Casey Kane races. We got to figure out how we can scheme this. Maybe.
So World of Outlaw Championship is this weekend. F1
Which one?
and NASCAR, right?
Which World
Yep.
Development Championship is determined this weekend?
Sprints.
Yeah, which one, Becca?
Anyways, do we want to make our
Just get your crush
predictions?
flag ready.
I don't, guys, stop it.
What else is determined this weekend, Becca? Tell me
I
more.
don't know. I'm asking a question. You guys are being dumb.
What
I
is
think it's the World of Outlaw late models, sprint cars, and then the
dirt track,
Mo-
big block mods?
big block,
Yep.
yeah, big block
Buh, buh,
mods.
buh, buh.
Can't talk.
Words at words, right?
Yeah.
Verstappen's already won.
Well, and you're predicting Verstappen in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just predicting Verstappen's going to win everything because he's won the owner points by himself. If they got rid of Sergio, on all honesty, they could drop Sergio and Red Bull would still probably win the manufacturer points. And so there's not much there.
NASCAR? Do we want to make some bold predictions? It's
I'm going to
championship
make
weekend.
a prediction that a dirt track guy will win.
I mean, that's basically it's 2 out of the 4.
2 out of 4.
I think it's going to be Christopher Bell.
I personally think it's going to be Ryan Blaney.
On a hot streak right now.
And he was second in that championship race last year and probably had the better car.
This is true unless you go by what one of the reporters asked him yesterday and said he got lucky to make it this far.
I will say Mr. William Byron is going to find his way to the championship.
He won Phoenix in the spring, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And that will essentially push a certain driver down to the number 3 ranking of a certain team.
I think that's already
Yes.
established.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, personally, from my opinion, I really hope it's Larson because I'm a huge Larson fan.
Yeah.
But if it isn't, I'm not disappointed with anybody that's in that line for.
Number 24.
one
well,
last
I'm
bold
just-
prediction on that. I actually think the championship winner is not even going to win the race.
Nah. You see,
I think he's going to
Mason,
win the race.
I've watched too much pro wrestling in my life, and I've come to realize everything's a work. Everything's set up to a certain degree, so it's going to be probably more likely in the top 5. 3 of them will be, probably the final 3 out of the final 4 will be in the top 5, and one will go out with like a motor issue or something, and then one will
Agreed.
have a bad pit stop.
Or one of them might do what a Chase did last year and just hit the wall, on a restart.
Bang.
And
Miss
Thank you
Rackatoon.
all.
Grace, you tell them to make this track wider.
Make him stop. Can we mute him?
Well,
have that
we could
option.
just wrap up the show with
I like that
episode
idea.
number 34 of the Track Packers podcast. As always, be sure to like, share, and comment on our Facebook or YouTube videos, Spotify, Google, and Apple's where you can find and listen to us. Be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. let us know what you think of our power rankings. Who do we leave out? Who should we change up? Thank you to our sponsors, Isaac Hot Sauce, Sandro, and Hitch Harness, Tyler Hall. Off season's upon us, but we still hope to see you out there packing the snow or packing the track.
And one final thing, True, everybody have a nice Halloween.
Mhm.
Happy Halloween.